welcome everybody. It's that time again. Happy Monday. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org and on the Facebook on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. It is Monday, January 25, 2021. And I'm not alone.
Hello, hello.
Jenny is here at the news desk.
I am here.
Yes. And let's see. It's a new week. Lots to talk about. I'll tell you what, though. I realized something today, and I kind of knew this would happen, but it's becoming much harder to find political song parodies.
I know.
Now that Donald Trump is no longer president. So I found a bunch of political and socially conscious songs to play, but the Randy Rainbow stuff and
what are they gonna do?
Some of the other the fun political song parodies. Now that we have a less colorful president, shall we say, a more normal leader at the helm, it's
Imagine
just
that.
it used to be very easy to just go on the YouTube.
It's a whole
and find
new
all this
world.
stuff. No. In fact, like John D. Domenico, my favorite Trump supporter. I'm not Trump supporter. Trump. I don't think he is a Trump supporter. My favorite Trump impersonator. What's he gonna do now?
Orange Acres is my favorite.
Green Acres.
No, he did Orange Acres.
Oh, that's right, Orange Acres. Yeah, I'd play that on the show, but it's kind of visual. But,
yeah.
But check him out on the YouTube. John D. Domenico is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But sometimes I'd open with one of his impersonations, and it'd be funny.
You
but
gotta go back to work now.
I know. Now I have to do actual show prep. The show has to have actual substance, but
You're not getting a daily rundown of insanity
no.
to pick from?
No, I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty of insanity to go around. Just without Mr. Trump.
Well, we have you.
I miss him already. I miss him already. We have our first call of the week. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, it's Easy G.
Easy G, Eric Gagnon. How are you, my friend?
Well, hello there, buddy.
Yeah, I hope the Brian's listening. I finally made it down to the store today, and I got my tablet turned on, but it won't be active till either Thursday or Friday at midnight.
Now, why?
That's when my payments start kicking for the next month.
Okay, all right. So you're almost there.
In the meantime, the great Peter White's going to help me figure out how to do the Skype, because I've never done that before, and I never had a tablet before I was late. So.
That's cool. You're going to get into
so the great Peter White around
places.
10 a.m. on Wednesday, God willing, I'm going to come into the studio, and he's going to show me how to Skype in. So I won't be able to Skype in tomorrow. So when I call tomorrow around 5, it will be on the phone the old way.
You can put the Skype app on your phone, or do you still have the old Obama
phone? But
I
don't know how to use it properly. So he's going to show me how, because you got to set up an account with Amazon.
With Amazon? For what?
For what?
Yeah, that's what the guy at the bank told me. It doesn't cost anything to set it up.
The bank?
The guy,
I don't know how to do it. I've never done it before,
so.
The great Peter White's going to help me out with that on Wednesday morning.
Easy world.
I'm a little, we're a little puzzled as to how the bank and Amazon both figure into this.
How do they calculate?
Well, they told me I had to have an account in order to get the Skype working. It doesn't cost anything.
Who told you?
It costs a couple of dollars to set up
turn
the tablet on. And you get some kind of like 15 gigabytes or something a month.
And Amazon? What? I don't understand the Amazon part. You need.
Wait a minute. We got to go back to the bank.
That's what the guys at the store told me today. You have to set up an account with them in order to get the Skype working.
So he told you to go to the bank and set up an account with Amazon?
In order to have a Skype account?
No. You got to set up an account, and the great Peter White's going to help me set it all up.
Why do you have to set up an account with Amazon?
It doesn't cost anything to set it up. It only costs a few dollars to set up to get on live on your phone.
Oh,
and then
is it an Amazon service?
No, I get it. It's because Peter White, I think he mentioned something about he has an Amazon account through his bank.
Oh,
Right, I never used that Skype before. As you
there
well
we
know,
go.
some people have
Brains
called
on.
in with the
Alrighty.
Skype, and they're really confused about how it works and all that stuff. And I've never had a tablet, as you well know. I mean, I've had it for months, but it hasn't gone live
We're
because
proud. I'm
I
proud
haven't had
of
the
you.
internet on my phone
Yes.
in order
Yes.
to make it go live.
It's a whole new world.
Right.
This is all foreign to me there, Matt. So.
Well, it was probably
you notice that?
it was
So
probably
tomorrow,
made in
I'll
China.
just call in tomorrow,
See?
and then Friday. I mean, I'm
Told
sorry,
you.
Wednesday. God willing, Peter White can still get together. He'll show me how
Give
to work it, and then once those 15 are gone for the month, then that will be it for
Bust
the month
roll
because
over
I don't
my
want
head.
to pay
You won't look.
extra on top of that for more gigabytes, whatever they call it.
I think it's megabytes.
Something like that. When you get 15 a month, and then once those are gone,
I just like saying
that'll be it till the
megabyte.
next month.
Wow.
And
I'm
apparently,
so
it can do
lost.
everything on your tablet. I mean, your phone can do the only thing it can is text and phones. But it can do everything else. And the way it eats it up is when you Zoom or when you Skype into the radio station, or if you use it to your doctor, or Zoom for the Celebrate Recovery. So that's when it eats it up. Like I said, it's all new to me. So
Yes. It can do
Couldn't
everything.
tell.
so if Brian's listening, either Wednesday at midnight or Thursday at midnight, the tablet will be alive.
Brian McKay. Yes.
McKay.
Right. And I got to do a couple steps, and I wrote it all down. So.
McKay.
Mm.
McKay.
It's all brand new to me. Obviously, I know you, Matt. You've had a computer forever, so.
I have. I had a computer since before I was
You're-
born.
And obviously,
You
the great
liar.
Peter White knows how to use that because he's been doing that station for years now.
Right. And he banks at Amazon.
Right. So that's my
And
big
gets
news
products
of
from
the
TV.
day. So you guys have a great show, and I'll be listening.
All right.
Alrighty
Thanks, Easy
then.
G. Very good. Well, Easy G, Eric
He let you
Gagnon.
down hard there, didn't he?
By the way, so Easy G did send me, he's been raising all this money for
Yes.
the relay. And what was the last total that I saw?
I forgot
from him.
It was over. He's gotten over 1,000. He'd gotten over 1,000. I know it was.
1173. So
Is that it? All right.
$1,173 that he has raised for the Relay for Life. So he is doing a fantastic job.
And he's still
with that.
taking your donations. So get in touch with Easy if you want to jump on and help him in his goal
Yep.
to be the one with the highest donations.
He wants to be
the top winner of all the donations. Fundraiser.
Not
yes.
winner.
I was having a hard time. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
You noticed. I'm so
Yes.
glad you noticed.
Yes, he wants to
Leave
be
me out there.
the top
Anyway,
fundraiser in
yes.
the country, and I think he's well on his way.
And I think that we have the power to bring him there. So
Yeah.
every bit counts. Doesn't matter. $5, $50, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all going to a good thing. It's all going towards trying to end the day when we all have to be scared of the word cancer.
That's right. And he is Eric Gagnon on the Facebook if you're looking
Yes.
for him on there. So if you want to, because he has the link there that you can donate right through him. So
Yep.
want to remind everybody, of course, about our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. Don't go there today because Monday and Tuesday is their weekend. But they'll be back open Wednesday. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday nights, they have trivia night there. Very exciting. They have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have wine. You can do
look
carry
up
out.
the new menus on,
Yes.
on Facebook and on Instagram. They have new menus up, both food and drink.
Yep.
A lot of exciting new choices on there.
And they're doing this really cool thing with the face masks that I love. They have these really nice looking Hop Knot
They're
face
warm.
masks. Yeah.
They're warm.
They
right
look-
now, I love it.
And they look really cool with the logo and everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when you get one there, it's $10 for the mask, and it's
like a membership card.
It's like, yeah, it is like a membership card because if you wear it, say you order food there and you go to pick it up, as long as you're wearing your face mask, and you are required to wear a mask when you go in there because they insist on doing everything very safely. But if you're wearing your Hop Knot face mask when you walk in, you get the 10% off your order. So it is like a discount card in that way.
But no punches needed.
That's right. No hole punching. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
I know that sound.
That sound only comes from one place.
Just one.
Philadelphia.
There it
Tony
is.
D from Philly. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. Good. Just got done watching Biden's little presser there. Very interesting stuff that just happened there. Media really started getting on him there at the end, but
That's
He's handling it
okay.
very well.
I like an aggressive media, regardless of who
He
is
can
in,
take it.
regardless of who is in office or whether I support them or not. I like an aggressive media. That's how it should be.
Look at that. We have a president who's not only not afraid of the media, but's not afraid to go toe-to-toe and go, you're wrong. This is why. Oh, wait, you want me to listen to your position? What is that? Oh, my God, it's amazing. We're having communications with the media.
Yes.
They're not going to lie to us anymore. Imagine
It
that.
looks really good. It sounds very promising what he's doing, taking full control and putting the funding where it needs to be with this pandemic. The goal was obviously 100 days, 100 million vaccinations. With everything that they're seeing right now statistically, they're looking at it turning its heel here and going to be between 1.5 to 1.6 million doses a day if everything is up to par with what he's trying to get done here with the funding, which is where it's going to be. So he said, he said it right just now. He said, I told you 2 months ago, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
And if we wear a mask till April, we could save 50,000 additional lives right now.
Yeah.
And he said, and he goes down, I know you're tired of hearing me say it, but it has to be done. If we work together, we will get this done. He said, and by early June, he said, we'll still be talking about this. But the turn, he said, we're going to be making a turn. He said, these vaccines, he goes, we're looking at states right now that are having a problem getting a second dose. He goes, that needs to be corrected now. He said, because we have people with the first dose, including myself as of Saturday, who are having a problem now getting the second dose. This is the problem. I am nervous as hell right now because I don't want to let this lapse because I got the first dose, no problem. But now it's the second dose because my appointment that I had was canceled immediately after I walked out of that vaccination site on Saturday. And it went from 21 days to up to 6 weeks now to get the second dose, which is the final push for that second dose.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. And now, just FYI, I am not growing a third arm.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
I do not have.
What
a
about
tail,
that third eye?
And I feel great.
How's that third eye doing?
The only thing I had after the shot was that I was a little tired.
Yeah.
Just like any other vaccine that I've gotten, but it was gone. It was gone within by early afternoon next day.
And by the way, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Tony, because from what I've been reading, it's actually a good thing if you have some sort of mild reaction like that to the vaccine.
This is working.
Because that means that your body's immune system is reacting and responding
to something
to the vaccine.
Never had before.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So it's actually better if that happens as opposed to having no I don't know if side effect would be the right word, but
doesn't mean it's not working.
Right,
so I hate to put that out there the wrong way.
Right. But
if
if you do have a reaction to it, as you know, assuming it's a mild reaction, which it should be, because that's virtually everyone. That's what they have. That's a good thing. That's your body.
Second dose.
Your body is reacting and responding to it exactly as it is supposed to. So that's good to hear.
To the nurse, the reason why the second dose is when you start really getting those like flu-like symptoms that everyone keeps complaining about on the second shot, and Jenny will understand this analogy that I'm going to say, or however you want to say it. The first one is 3 ml. The second one's 5 ml. So that's
milliliters.
What? Yeah.
How much you're getting?
I didn't know that.
So
the first dose is basically like a half of the dose, and then the second dose is the full dose. And so it's kind of like it's priming the engine. It's literally you're priming the engine. So you put that first dose in there, and you prime the engine and go, hey, check out this new oil I'm sending you.
Oh, I didn't realize
that.
that.
Oh, hey, we got to react to this. You guys need more digs. So they make some happy little antibodies, and then the second dose gives you a bigger boost.
I was that guy when I sat down and I looked at the nurse and said, how many mLs is that? She said, it's 3. She goes, why? I said, how much is the second one? She said, 5. She said, are you in medical? I said, yes. I was just curious to wondering why people were getting the reaction on the second one. She goes, it's probably because it's the 5 ml.
Okay.
It's the heavier.
And your body's going to react more quickly as well, because it's already got a little blueprint in there going, hey, wait a minute, didn't these guys come by not long ago? And your body recognizes that and reacts. I mean, that's the whole point of why we're doing it in a 2-level system. If you just dump a whole it would probably feel really crummy to get it all at once, I would think.
Yeah.
On this particular model, that doesn't mean that they won't be able to come up with a way to do it in a singular dose.
Well, that's what the Johnson & Johnson one is going to be, right?
Have. Yeah. And Moderna's already working on a booster, which helps with other mutations of the disease. So this is probably something we're going to be taking like every year.
Yeah, it was a great setup. The way that they did it, National Guard was in place with hospital workers that were there. You had to go through a 6-tier process to get approved for everything with your registration when you sign up. There were walk-ins that were there. There was a huge line. It was a 6-hour wait for people that were cold for it, but they were waiting. I was talking to one lady. She said, how'd you get in so soon? I was like, it's through work. I was like, it wasn't really like me. My work kind of scheduled this for me. You know, they got the letters because we're in a hospital. And she said, oh, well, you know, rightfully so. But there were people that were standing out there for 6 hours. And then once we got in, you dealt with the National Guard. They got you signed in, registered. You went to another registration desk. They started asking you pretty much, you know, the preliminary questions on, do you smoke? Do you have asthma? Do you know, checking off the boxes. And, like, you know, obviously I do smoke, and I do have asthma.
Are you serious?
I thought.
Are you serious? I'm going to smack you through this phone.
Oh,
this microphone.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what happened.
Terrible.
What happened with that.
Blah blah.
I had a reaction to the Chantix with my kidney.
And with your kidney?
Acting as a diuretic for me.
Okay.
And I couldn't stop peeing. This is a show meant for Unsheathed in the Tony D show.
Right.
But I peed the bed I peed the bed 3 times on Chantix.
Oh wow!
And it was horrible. I just couldn't stop peeing. I felt like a 80-year-old man. I was like, this is horrible. And then when I went to the hospital, the doctor was like, what are you on? I said, Chantix. He goes, well, that's acting as a diuretic, my friend.
Oh, so that's a common side effect of that?
It's like the number one side effect is like nightmares, dreams, and like depression.
Yeah. Like
the third side effect is like I forget what the terminology is for peeing a lot, but it was acting as a diuretic for me to have high functioning kidneys where like I couldn't hold my bladder and stuff. My bladder just kept filling up and filling up and filling up.
Yeah.
So I came off of it. So I got 45 days in of quitting smoking. Felt good. But I didn't get to finish the full course that I was supposed to be fully off of it. And I got 6 days. I got 6 days off of it completely, and the craving started coming back. And look, every mountain's high. It doesn't mean that I can't. You know, if I got halfway, it doesn't mean I can't climb it the second time. So you know, if I can get 45 days, I can do it again. It's just we'll get there. I don't want to rely on the medication after that little stint of what I had going on and relying on something to help me quit smoking, and then all of a sudden it was giving me medical issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, you mentioned that the number one side effect is depression and nightmares and things like that. And that's one of the theories about what happened to Anthony Bourdain, because he was on Chantix trying to quit smoking. And, you know, his suicide was really shocking to everybody. But one of the theories is, well, he was on Chantix. Maybe that's, activated, the suicidal ideations in his brain. And I don't know.
We're going to be talking about it because, like, the boys on the show were busting my stones about going back to smoking and, you know, me obviously peeing the bed. So we're going to talk about that when we come back on the 6th, you know, kind of make it, I guess, kind of funny and stuff. But I did have some really wicked dreams, though, were like out of this world, that were like, I was like Batman one night fighting Godzilla, and like, I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. But no, like, you know, but the system that they did at the mega site was great. It was a great system. They got me through. You go into an observation site right after you're done for 15 minutes. You're monitored by EMTs. They automatically put a pulse ox on you the second you're there for the first 2 minutes to get your O2 and your pulse. And then the last 5 minutes, they put it back on you just to check everything. And then you're out the door after 15 minutes to make sure they monitor you. And, yeah, I mean, it was a good system. It's just that it's just crazy how, I guess, each state is different the way that they're distributing this, because some, like, you know, here they had people that were waiting in line as walk-ins, and then there was also a scheduling system that was in place. Other states, they're just doing it off of a tier system. So everyone's a little bit differently when approaching the way that they're going to be distributing it. I guess it's a state thing. But by the way,
it is now, but I expect that to change. I really do.
What was that?
That is how things are right now. But President Biden's barely had 5 days in office, and I expect that these things are going to change. That we're going to see a more national program that everybody's following, instead of state A doing this and state B doing that, because this piecemeal thing is just horrible, and it's not good for any of us. It's not. We're going to have people fall through the cracks. We're going to have people waiting months to get shots.
Yeah.
And here in New Hampshire, we just finally let our elderly people sign up, and that's not even all of the 1B group. That's just the people that are older than 65, and they're scheduling into April right now.
I thought being in a small state might be an advantage, but I'm rapidly thinking it's
well, like we
not.
learned today, the one of the biggest hospitals with the biggest catchment says I can speak, Maddie. One of the hospitals that has the largest catchment area in our state is not a site for vaccination.
Right.
Like, I thought that the doctors there would be getting the vaccines to administer to their patients.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a ready-made list. We have every primary in the hospital. But that's not what they're doing. They have the primaries make the list, check it twice, give it to the state, and then the state has to contact you to set up a time. When that system fills through, then you'll finally get a date to when you may get the vaccine, which is really frustrating to me.
Right. Yeah, the second dose now is just kind of like a waiting game. So I received an email today in regards to scheduling to give them till Friday. They just said, please wait patiently. You know, we understand that you got to get a second dose, and we're looking. I guess what they're doing is they're following. They're not following. They're running out of the vaccine.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get the second dose pushed out as quick as possible. Look, I give it till like Friday or sometime next week. I don't know when this bill's supposed to get passed, Matt. You probably have more knowledge on that, when this bill for the COVID and the stimulus and all this stuff is all thrown in. I think this impeachment thing is really throwing things to the side here with what needs to get passed. But it should be sometime this week, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I hope so. I mean, I know that's the goal, but they're having trouble getting Republicans on board with
Republicans don't think you need another $1,400. Like, they just gave you $600, so why are you whining?
Yeah,
$600 really helped me. Let me tell you, bud.
Yeah.
Seriously,
most people,
that should be enough. What do you want?
Most people just sign that right over to their landlords. I mean, that's just
go outside,
the
throw
reality.
a rock at an animal, and then you can eat that for dinner.
Payment.
Jeez.
What's that?
I said if they could even cover their payment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing Trump was right about on his way out the door when he called it. What did he called it? Insulting, the $600, and said it should be at least $2,000. That's one thing I did agree with Trump on. Of course, I would have agreed with him if he'd said it, several months sooner. But so he was right.
That. Or if he'd actually participated in the negotiations in the first place, so it never ended up being just $600. But hey, he let me crazy there.
He let his Treasury Secretary negotiate it for him on behalf of him.
And don't forget the senators now. All those Republican senators, they weren't going to, because it was a Republican-led Senate, they weren't going to let anything pass that was, oh my God, 4 digits.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. That's just too much, man.
Well, I want to end the call on a it's not so much a positive note, but I want to give my love to Bobby Champagne.
Yes.
Bobby lost his father.
Yes.
And me and Bobby have bonded over time in this little Facebook live chat. It's crazy how you become friends with all these people that you don't even know just through a Facebook live chat. So, Bobby, if you're listening, which you probably are, my love and respect is with you. You're in my prayers. I'm sorry that this has happened to you. I don't wish that pain on anyone. But just know that you got yourself a guardian angel over top of you for the rest of your life, my friend. So,
Very nice.
Be good,
Very
Bobby.
well said.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm sure he appreciates that a great deal.
Yeah. So, can we let it rock again? Hoo-ah!
All right, Tony. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Tony D from the Tony D Show in Philadelphia. And, that was very nice what he said. Of course, Bobby Champagne over the weekend did lose his father, age 82, I think.
Yes.
To
may his
COVID.
May his memory be always for a blessing.
And we have another call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. Hi, Jen. This is Shakey. Good afternoon.
Shakey, how are you? You said,
very good, thank you. By the way, that word the guy was looking for was incontinence.
Oh, yes. What?
I'm glad you guys are discussing the vaccinations and all of that. But you know what I see that's an unseen problem? I think when everybody gets their vaccines and this and that, I think there's going to be less people contributing to the blood banks. And I think the Red Cross, they never have enough as it is. And I feel that, after this is done, I don't know, my guess, but I'm thinking that less people are probably going to donate.
No, that's interesting. And if you're right, that is obviously a problem. But why do you think that, Shakey? Why do you think there might be less people donating?
I guess maybe people think I want to keep it in my system as long as I can. I don't know how long it runs through your system and it's gone, but I mean, I guess,
no.
You know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there, but that's what I was thinking.
No, I totally respect that. You know what? I hear what you're saying, and I completely respect that, and I can understand where you might think that. But here's the great thing about that: it's something that's not going to hold truth. Because what we know is this: when we give you that vaccine and teach your body how to create the antibodies that you need to fight off this virus, then it has that lesson. It knows how to do it, and anytime it needs to, it can bring it right back up and do it again. It knows how to do it. So it's not about, you're not going to lose anything outside your body at all. Matter of fact, if you donate blood, which I highly recommend that you do, not only can you donate blood product, but you can also actually donate antibodies or they look for white blood cells a lot, platelets. If we can get people to go and donate those things, we can save lives. One donation can be split up into multiple patients, and it takes 1,000 blood donors to make a particular product that's used to keep people with cystic fibrosis alive and other diseases like that. So I'm actually really glad you asked that question, because I get that. It makes sense. But remember, the vaccine is teaching your body a lesson on how to do things. And every once in a while, it might need to give it a refresher course. Doesn't mean that it forgets to do the lesson entirely. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I got another question. There's a guy that's on channel 242, and he's like a pharmaceutical guru, and he tests mushrooms and this and that, and he has medical knowledge and degrees and this and that. And I was watching a show the other day, and he was talking about Dion, which is used as an anesthetic, but it's very, very, very expensive to produce. And he went to like Belgium or some other place where it's not regulated just yet. And the people there have clinics set up, and these people are inhaling the gas. It's some kind of inert natural gas that only has one atom. There's so many things involved with it. And these people, while they're doing it, like the inventor of it, he actually, when he invented it, he had a tooth extracted under it, and there was no pain whatsoever. But these other people that are doing it for the clinics, people are coming in and they're swearing up and down that they can feel things that they've never felt. They can see things they've never seen. They know every nerve ending in their body from head to toe. It's kind of weird, but Dion, and that's all. I mean,
I'd be real leery of that, hon. I mean, I haven't seen the ad, and I can't speak to what exactly is in it, but unfortunately, we live in a day and age where you can get a lot of letters after your name, and it doesn't make you smart. We watched that so-called doctor stand at the Capitol steps telling us that she could cure COVID, and which was absolute bunk over some kind of supplement. And there are always people out there that try to sell people on these crazy supplements that soak up a lot of money and make you very expensive urine most of the time. Because that's normal. A lot of times what's in this stuff it just comes right out in your elimination. So you're just making really, really expensive urine. When you're looking at stuff like this, man, talk to your doc. Go to your doc, call a real pharmacist, call and talk to a pharmacist, call and talk to your doctor, or most people's insurances now have 24-hour calls. You can talk to a nurse to help you learn about that supplement and whether or not it belongs in your body. I'm on an experimental treatment, and I take a magnesium supplement because it helps the experimental treatment I'm on work, so that they work together. I used to take all kinds of crazy supplements because when I got diagnosed with my second cancer, everybody and their sister had a cure for me. And like I said, I found that I was really just making a very expensive urine, for lack of anything better to say. Just be really careful with those guys. There's nobody out there that's got some cure-all, be-all for COVID. That's bunk, absolute bunk.
It's funny what you say about supplements real fast. My wife, God bless her, she passed away, but not too long ago, she went to the doctor and they said, your liver is in rough shape. And they couldn't figure out why. And then we talked about supplements, and she was taking something called Kava Kava. And I don't know what its purpose was, but it had a side effect, and it could affect your liver. And sure enough, when she stopped taking it, her liver regenerated and everything else. But, that was a supplement.
Absolutely so glad that you said that, because that's a great example of how that happens. And sometimes if we don't tell because people don't always think to tell their doctor if they're taking a supplement, or it's just my vitamin regimen, they call it. My vitamin regimen, that's all it is. But that stuff really does matter. If you're taking anything, vitamin D, vitamin C, whatever, you should be talking to your doctor and making sure that it's safe to take with your medication or close to each other. That's another thing, because some certain medications need to be taken on an empty stomach. Others should be taken on a full stomach. Sometimes a medication and a supplement don't play nice together in your tummy. So there's a lot of things to consider. It's not just take this stuff. It's not harmless. There is no such thing as a supplement that's completely harmless, because anything in too much can be a negative. So you really always go back to your doctors.
I did see that they said certain supplements don't even break down. You actually pass them.
Yep. I actually take a sublingual vitamin so I get more of it into my system than having it go through my digestive system.
Yeah, I know that there are some naysayers on vitamin supplements who say it's pointless because you just pee it all out anyway, so it doesn't actually benefit you.
That's what I mean by expensive urine, because if you're taking a $40 supplement and this pill and that pill, and you add that all up, you're taking $100 worth of supplements and pills in the morning, and it runs right through your body, and you don't get anything from it. In a lot of cases. So you're right. I'm glad you said this. It's a really great example. Some people think it's perfectly safe to take mugwort, or there was another one like that that can be dangerous. And magnesium isn't totally. Magnesium is great at the correct dose, but if I take it too much of a dose, I could actually make myself sick.
Yeah.
So I take a dose that my doctor is telling me to take with my infusion treatments. So you're 100% right on that. Gosh, if people could just grab that, they can make themselves so much healthier and save a few bucks in your wallet. You're way better off if you're healthy, to keep yourself healthy, to buy fresh vegetables. Put that into your body rather than some pill. Put those fresh veggies and stuff into your body. You'll get so much healthier that way.
Hey, I'd like to end the call with one thing. I got a beef. Matt, you give a lot of free airtime to that guy that calls himself Q. He's an idiot, and I just wish that he would drop the Father Guido Sarducci accent. And if he wants to call in, but drop the accent, because I'd love to see him go one-on-one with that guy that's on your show every now and then. What's his name? He's a perfect debater. He has
John Hopwood?
Exactly about
John Hopwood?
What's the guy's name? Yeah. I'd like to see the two of them go hand in hand, because John would eat him up.
I have actually, Shakey. So I'm not saying that Q. I don't want to break the fourth wall too much, but let's just say that someone who has a very similar voice and appearance to Q actually caused John Hopwood to storm out of the studio in the middle of the show once, and it was quite a moment. But
it wasn't just taking off the headset; it was a chucker.
Oh yeah. Perhaps we'll have more moments like that in the future,
Oh my God,
Shakey,
yes,
with John Hopwood and Q, or some of Q's relatives.
And it'll happen. We're all going to get vaccinated. It's going to happen. We'll all get back together.
That's right.
The end is in sight. There's a light at the end of the road.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right, Shakey.
Yeah, I just hope it's not a train.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
I like choo-choo trains in the right direction.
Exactly. All right,
Yeah,
Shakey.
that doesn't work.
Nice talking to you guys. I love your show.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Those are great topics,
All right.
though, to talk about as far as does it run out of your body if you donated it or something?
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense to think that.
Well, and the way to deal with that, of course, is through education. Putting the information out there that because that's something I wouldn't have thought of, but obviously Shakey thought of it, and I'm sure other people are have that concern as well. That was interesting. Great call.
There's been a lot of people that are in the chronic illness community or in the rare disease community, those that are asking really great questions like that. Like if they do the vaccine, will it interfere with the ability of their drugs to work on them for their disease, or would it cause their disease to become worse? A lot of people are really concerned about that with good reason.
Yeah.
Great questions. And the easy answer to this is no. And that's the great thing. For most people, this is perfectly safe and is very likely to help extend our lives in the long run.
And we have another call. Very busy show on this Monday afternoon. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt. It's Stacie from Nashua.
Stacie Laughton. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Doing well.
Sounds like it. How's Jenny?
I'm upright.
She's upright.
That works. Hey, that's a plus, right?
That's right.
No, so, hey, wanted to give you a call because this is actually a good call, radio people type call.
Okay.
Matt, I had started, remember when I first met you, I told you we had been streaming on the social media app, Meet Me?
Yes.
And we have been streaming on there, just doing that, right? And then when we met you, I remember you had said when I had called that, Carol was on the show from Manchester Ink Link there.
Yes, Carol Robideau. Yes.
Yes. You had said the words when I told you, I do a show and stuff like that. You had said, well, maybe it's a good thing we've met.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, can I tell you, it was a great thing that we met. Because now we've kind of, we've shifted pretty much off of the me. It kind of serves as like a chat. But the people up there have helped us down here quite a bit with a lot of advice.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have said don't mention their names, so I won't mention their names. But people that haven't really, that didn't mind were like, DJ Midas gave us a really good suggestion for a DJ controller, and that's in the works. Other people that listen to your show that are really good people have suggested certain equipment for exactly what we're doing, and now we're preparing for, yes, we've been kind of broadcasting for a bit, but now we're actually going to launch an official online radio station.
Oh.
And a lot of the what we've been able to learn has come since we've met you. And so I wanted to give, a call. I mean, yes, it sounds like I'm promoting because I am, but I also, it's not just that. It's more or less wanting to thank you, Matt, for being like a radio inspiration because, to watch somebody like you who has a passion for radio, and then, you get behind the mic and it's just a natural thing for you. You appear on people's podcasts and it's an awesome thing to listen to and watch. And,
thank you.
And so I just want to thank
crap.
you for inviting me that time to be on your show and then getting to know everybody. And, you have a really good show, as I've always said. And that's why we pick you up and we put you on the air every day. And, a lot of what we're getting ready to do to launch an official online station, like I said, it's because of stuff we've learned from people that are associated with you or the station, Peter White. And Peter White hasn't really he hasn't given any sort of suggestions or anything, but it's people. Just Peter White's kind of like you said, what, the godfather of the station up there. So, it's
yes.
So we kind of, so therefore it's like his family of people up there, and you guys are great, and I appreciate everyone that's been kind to us, and all the times we've been on your show, and I can't wait for when this COVID thing is safely passed, so we can see each other again. Because I'd like to once things are all up and running and we're fully launched, I'd like to come up there with some of my people and we talk on the air.
And by the way, I agree. Peter White, we do know Peter White as the godfather of the station.
He changed your nappies.
I always know I've done something wrong when if I wake up and there's a horse's head in the bed with us, and it's like I've upset Peter White in some way. So yes, he's the godfather.
Get blessed with the holy Peter water.
That's right, the holy Peter water. That sounds like a discussion for the other show, but
talk about right. So if I may really quick before I let you go.
Yes.
A lot of people ask, what does SLL stand for? What we've decided to name our company.
Uh-huh.
And it's a family name. It's our initials. It's for the Stacie, Lisa, and Lindsay. Because, as you already know, I had lost one last year, and that was Lisa.
Oh, yes.
Which was kind of, we were kind of like, remember I told you we were all together, so it's kind of we're using it as as initials. Lisa's going, but also a family thing.
Yeah. Well, very good.
But yes, I know it sounds like a big promotion, but I don't. I just wanted to really mainly say thank you for your for inviting me up there and getting to know everyone. You guys are awesome up there.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Stacie. And when
I'm a crappy person.
Oh, no, what? What's the matter, Jenny?
Blue meanies. No,
what?
Not yet. Sorry.
I don't know what's going. I don't know.
I'll keep you guys posted as to when we fully launch, and
okay,
maybe you'd like to listen or something.
Yeah, absolutely, and congratulations on all that.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yes. So you guys have a good rest of your show, and we'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for the call, Stacie. Take care.
Have a good life.
Bye-bye.
Does that not roll off for me?
The Honorable Stacie Laughton. Have a good life. That's what Trump said.
Exactly. See?
Have a good life. That's what Trump said as he was giving his departure speech.
Is that what that was?
That was Trump being passive-aggressive.
I thought that was his wine and cheese party.
That was have a good life.
Yeah, have a good life.
Oh, boy.
Now he's held up in his hotel trying to turn it back into his mansion, and he can't.
That's right.
And the rats are leaving the ship.
Yeah, people are discarding their memberships at Mar-a-Lago.
I mentioned this to you earlier. This is my new. I'm really ticked at Trump for this, because he was all about America first, buy America first. Then why the heck did Biden have to do an executive order today to stop the weasels from getting a waiver, allowing them to buy non-American? Huh? Why? In Trump's Make America Great Again, and we have Buy America First, did he allow the bigwigs a waiver so they can buy from Japan or China or Europe or anywhere they want, but here first?
I don't know.
Why,
I don't know,
pray tell, did this progressive monstrosity of President Biden, who couldn't possibly for America First, have to do an executive order? Listen to me. He had to do an executive order today, folks. So companies with lots of money, getting a lot of government stimulus money, can't get a waiver to go around buying American, because that's what Trump's been doing. While he told you up front a bill of goods all about America First, behind your backs, he was signing away little waivers for all of his buddies so they could cut corners and make all the money that they want to at the expense of the American worker. Call me crazy, but I think President Biden just stopped a few of those American worker dollars from leaving our country. Just saying.
Well, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know enough about that specifically.
I'm angry
to comment on.
I'm livid.
But well, we'll see how upset you are when when Joe Biden he signs that executive order to make us a communist country. He's going to be doing that Friday. I heard that on OAN or
was that before or
ONN
after
or whatever.
he moves the Pope to America?
No, I heard that on Newsmax. The Pope is moving to America.
Is
yes.
that OAN crap?
OAN? Is it OAN or ONN or OANN or something? It's all these letters or whatever the new thing is. Whatever the new thing Trump's going to be starting is.
His own party.
By the way, though, I do have to say, I mean, that was very nice what Stacie said. I think, can we safely assume I am the wind beneath her wings?
You have a point there.
Thank you.
You have a point there.
Thank
I
you.
did not.
Credit where due.
Oh, don't blow your head up now over
Clearly,
there, buddy.
all of her future success
off
is
your high horse
it's all because of me.
No. She's following the work of the great women that have gone before her.
And, of course, Peter White, the godfather of the station.
Seriously, did he change your nappies?
Well,
you know what godfathers do? They hold you while they pour the water over your head,
I don't know. That's
he didn't drown
you,
you, so there's that.
That's a different... well, I was baptized.
Not that kind of godfather?
No, not that kind of godfather.
I know where you've been. How could you? Give you a big smooch and then somebody takes you out? Like that kind of godfather?
Oh, wow.
No?
I haven't seen that film in so long.
Meet my little friend. I can't remember how the line goes. No.
That's Scarface.
Oh,
it's still.
But wait, that's still mobsters, right?
Well, yeah,
it's
still Pacino.
Okay, see,
Scarface is a great film. Great film. Well, the line is open.
Godfather's here.
Huh?
Peter White.
I know. I see him in the Facebook live chat.
Godfather.
He says Mike Doyle says he's a great guy. Mike Doyle is a great guy. I got a couple of emails. If we have time, we'll get to them. I received not one but two emails from Mike Doyle.
I'm glad that headache only shows up in your box.
One of them mentions you.
Oh?
You're in some trouble with Mike Doyle, I think.
Ask me if I care
Well,
a bit.
you're going to, wait till you read. I mean,
let me tell you what I got for Mike. I would look at Mike and I would say, Mikey, do you like fruit? And he'd say, I like fruit. And I'd say, kiss my tuchus. It's a peach.
Well,
I got that from my grandma.
Yes. Well, you're going to hear some...
Raised well, you see.
Be prepared to hear some passive-aggressive comments from Michael.
I want Mr. Doyle to tell me why, under your little buddy's march, were companies allowed to get a waiver to go around the America First. Tell me, Mr. Doyle, what the excuse is for that.
Well...
I dare you.
Well, perhaps he will. Perhaps he'll call.
I dare you.
No, I like Mike Doyle, just for the record.
I am not a fan.
I
am not a fan.
I consider him a friend, and I like Mike Doyle.
He bathed in the Kool-Aid.
Well,
he didn't just drink it.
Well, that is true.
He bathed in it.
He's in the cult. He's in the MAGA cult. But we have a call. Perhaps this is him. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Mike Doyle.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
You never cease to amaze me. And Jen, don't take it to the hate and the tuchus and the. We can all get along. What, you don't
love
is
fruit?
More powerful than hate.
That's not hate. I offered you something on the basis that you like it.
It was you were on your road there, pretty good. I was reading a story. It's funny you mentioned the waiver thing. I was reading a story about it about 2 weeks ago, and the waivers were that because it came up a couple of weeks ago. And from my understanding, the waivers were a way for Trump to make sure that people were maxing out sources and products they needed to make their products in the United States before they were allowed to subsource outside of the United States.
Who sold you that line of BS?
Why?
It's BS.
If somebody can't source what they need here, Trump just wanted to make sure they were maxed out here.
America
through the waiver,
first.
And then the government would be able to check it out, and they'd get a waiver, and they could go somewhere else.
This isn't rocket science, dear. This is buy American first. And if you don't buy America first, you're not being very MAGA. That's what he sold us. But his little buddies could get a waiver around that. Excuse me?
Are you not listening to what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm listening. I just don't know if you think you understand what you're saying.
I don't. I read the story. I'm not an expert on it. I'm just telling you what I read. That's why all I'm saying is what if companies, large manufacturers that came back through a lot of Trump's policies, but with those large manufacturers, what if the things they needed to manufacture what they were making weren't sourceable fully in the United States? Then what do they do?
I see what Mike is saying.
It's.
I need to read more up on this.
That's just into the ether somewhere. The whole point of Buy America First is to buy America first, not gotta outsource it because you don't make it here. If you don't make it, there was nothing about America First that said if it's not in the United States, you can't buy it somewhere else. It said if it's in the United States, you got to buy it here first. That's America First.
Yeah, she's not. I don't know how to make you understand, but maybe Matt can tell you later or something. I think Matt knows what I'm saying.
So you're insinuating that I'm too stupid to figure it out for myself.
If you need 100,000 of something that's made in the United States, and you can only get 70,000 of that, and then you've tapped out what's available in the United States for your manufacturing facility, then you would need to you'd get a waiver from the government. They check to make sure you're buying America First.
Oh,
and then you have a waiver to buy the rest 30% somewhere else.
I don't know. The way
that's what I read. That's all. I don't know if it's true.
And you know
I think it is. It sounds reasonable.
And you know what? You know what? That's one article that you read, and I've had a couple articles that I've read. So we don't know 100%. I'll give you that. But I find it very
I'm not
alarming.
arguing that.
I find it alarming.
It sounds like it could be doesn't it sound like it could be a plausible?
Then why would there?
Item?
If that be the case, then why would Biden have to sign something to executive order and force people to buy more America First? Why?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that. I don't know the numbers. I really don't know I don't know what's in that executive order. All I'm telling you is I got in on the discussion only because you guys were talking about it. That's all.
Yeah,
and
no.
Add some input.
And
I don't want to make
guy,
it
and
angry or arguing.
I'll say this about your guy is he certainly knows how to find a loophole and drive through it. I mean, his tax returns are a perfect example. So, the fact that he finds loopholes doesn't surprise me. The fact that we're having to close the loopholes now definitely doesn't surprise me.
Well,
I understand that. All I was, and last week when I called, and it's amazing the fury that happens when somebody calls and just tries to have a discussion that happens to be a Republican. But all I was trying to say last week was
fire and
people
fury.
Have a hard time because they hate Trump so much because of his arrogance and sometimes his ignorance and sometimes of the stupid things he says.
Can I ask you
a
real question?
Which I agree with. But sometimes people don't look at the substance of what he did, his policy versus the public guy. You know what I mean?
I do understand what you're saying there. I do understand what you're saying there, but I need to ask you a question because I'd love to ask this as somebody who really is a Trump supporter, and I know you are. Having what happened...
Well, wait a minute. Can I just say? Let me interrupt you. I'm a Trump policy supporter.
Got you.
Not a Trump person. Because down the stretch, he was being ignorant and he was being, he was just being off the wall. He was clawing and fighting and whatever he did. I don't know the guy.
What do you think about the words that he said on January 6th in front of the Capitol when he was out there talking to people and he told them to walk down? We're all going to walk down to the Capitol. I'm going to be with you. You have to fight. When he said those things and you saw the result of what he said and what happened, I mean...
Yeah, you're changing what he said. He didn't say we have to fight. He never said that.
He said you're going to have to fight.
He said he's always said peace through strength.
No, he said go back.
He's always had the huge amount of people at his rallies.
No, Mike, in front of that people, he said you're going to have to fight like heck. He said that. It's in the video. I'm not saying anything he didn't say. That's on the video.
I believe he did say that. He didn't overtly. He never actually overtly said storm the Capitol, but I think I think it's pretty clear what. Did I say Capitol or Castle just now? Did I say storm the castle? Or
listen, I agree.
I thought you said Capitol.
If his words, taken whichever way you take them, were a result of those knuckleheads storming the Capitol, then he's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if he meant that. I don't know if he meant go. He's always been a law and order guy. He's backed law and order his whole life. So, and you know that, right? And so I don't think he may have said that, and the way he said it may have come across to those knuckleheads the wrong way. And if they storm the Capitol, shame on them. They should all go to prison.
He
That's
told
wrong.
them to walk. We're going to walk down to the Capitol now. He literally said, we're all going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'm with you. And you're going to have to fight like heck to save your democracy, or to save, I forget the word he actually used. But he basically told everybody, let's walk down there, make a big enough noise, and we can reverse this. We can stop this from happening. You just have to go down there and make a good enough showing.
Right. I think that's what he was shooting for,
to
go down and make a good showing in front of the Capitol.
Yeah,
but the way you're putting it in his exact words may have triggered these people that I'm not backing them.
Words
that's
matter.
100% wrong.
Words matter. Words matter. He was president of the United States, standing out there.
Why don't you
people,
listen to what I'm saying? Down the stretch, he said some things that were stupid. He was arrogant. He did some stupid things. But
do you believe he's guilty of inciting sedition?
I just got the top 10% of some of the things he did during his time, and I'd love for Matt to read them on the air and to better all our lives through employment and poverty and money into low-income neighborhoods.
That's why we have people starving so badly now?
Just because he's a knucklehead.
We have food lines that go on for miles, 5-6 miles long, to get one bag of food home to their family. Yeah, he left us in great shape, sure. Yeah, he did a lot for that food issue we have here in the United States. Come on, dude. Put on YouTube and Google it. Google it. Look at the food lines in Texas.
Unemployment and poverty were at their low. Unemployment was at its poverty at the lowest level ever recorded across the board.
What did he leave us?
And poverty was at its lowest level since the 50s.
No, that's absolute bunk.
You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. Look it up.
I'm looking at people that have really nice cars they were able to pay payments on that they can't do now because they can't work, and they're in line to get food because there's nowhere else to get it. Like, I'm watching food lines that are 5 miles deep in Texas. Sure, those people are what? They're secure? They're food secure?
I know. I'm not going to sit here and you're going to use facts. These are facts. These are statistics.
Fact is that there are at least 6-hour waits in Texas to get food. As one example.
We're talking about 10 months, 12 months into a pandemic. That's people are out of work. People are getting sick.
So what did he do for stopping that? What did he do to run this country instead of running it into the ground during a pandemic? Nothing. He got bored with it and he wanted it to just disappear.
The numbers were still pretty good through the third quarter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why you're saying that. People were hanging in there as much as they could.
We'll say COVID what? There'll be no more mention of COVID.
Do you remember? Yeah, but do you remember? You remember that people were saying he said we'll have a vaccine by the end of the year, and they were all over him. That you're putting out, you're going to make people get false hope, and you're going to get all this.
I didn't
Not
say
only did he have it out, we had needles and arms
like
after 9 months. People said it was a miracle.
He
stopped travel early. He may have made some mistakes.
He didn't stop travel early. Oh my God, that is such a bull. All he did was he stopped some vacationing. But if you had a green card to work here, you came. If you were a student, you got in. If you owned a company, oh heck yeah, roll out the red carpet. The only people you stopped was John Q. Doe that wanted to take a trip. That's it. He didn't stop anything worth he did not stop.
All right.
It's not like he went, nobody's coming in from China.
Why did Biden call him a xenophobe for doing it? Why did Nancy Pelosi call him a racist 2 months later?
Over the ban of travel from China? Mike, I've agreed with you on that. Trump was right about that, and they were wrong on that specific thing.
He was right, but he didn't do it enough. He didn't go far enough.
I've told you that.
There's it's almost like Monday morning quarterback because there's no. He had no idea how to handle a pandemic. Nobody
clearly.
Does.
Well, obviously, because he disbanded what was built in the government to handle a pandemic that we knew was coming. People, go back, look at him. You've seen it. Videos going on. We knew there was another one coming. We knew it would happen.
That office was disbanded and it was moved to another office. You know that, right?
It was collapsed.
It wasn't disbanded completely.
It
was just moved to. I think I don't know. It was used to human relations or human something, but.
Well, I think.
Anyways, I don't want to nitpick.
Wherever you can bury it, that's fine. It wasn't anything that was
all I was trying to say is people need to separate Trump the knucklehead from Trump the policies because he had some good policies. That's all.
How dare you? He's the president of the United States. I shouldn't have to separate nothing. I hold all of him accountable for every word that comes out of his mouth and for every stupid thing that he put in motion and for the hundreds of lives, hundreds of thousands of people who are dead because of his inaction, his immense ego, and his stupidity. That he could just wish things into happening because in his world, if he says yes long enough, that's what it is.
It's his fault that the bars are still full, right? It's his fault that the high school and college kids are partying.
It's his fault that there are hundreds of thousands of Americans dead. Yes, he is responsible for the hundreds of thousands of Americans who are dead in greater numbers than World War II is on Trump's head forever and a day.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I got to go. It was nice chatting with you guys. I just wanted to bring up that waiver thing because I had just read about it. And it was just a waiver to if you run out of United States resources.
If you could, Mike, because I do want to learn more about this subject, send me that if you can email me.
I will. I'll look it up. I think I'll look it up and I'll try to cut and paste it to you. I'm not good at that, but I'll try.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, appreciate the call. Bye-bye. All right, Mike Doyle.
My favorite person to argue with. I don't get me wrong. Mike's a good guy. I'm not saying he's not, but I don't know what planet he's living on.
No, I think Mike's a great guy, but I think he's
afraid to admit the truth of what he's looking at. I think that the truth is in his face right now, and I think it's hard for him to admit that it's not just Trump the person.
Well, well, the thing is, he seems to come at it with he presents this premise that if you, I feel like he's saying, if I'm understanding him correctly, it's like if you disagree with Trump's policies or even just disagree with some of Trump's policies, then you clearly don't understand what a great president Trump really was because you're focused on what a terrible person he is, not what he did. And it's like, no, actually, I disagree with most of Trump's policies, and I think he's a terrible human. So my overall judgment of him is he was a terrible president. I'm not blinded by hate for him as a person.
No, I don't hate the man.
And so therefore I can't see all the wonderful things he did. I don't think he did very many wonderful things.
He did what he had to do to get by.
Or let me put it this way. I think he did. And again, I've tried to give him credit on some things, and some of the things on the list, the economic stuff is a little dubious because I think people give the chief executive far too much credit and or blame generally when it comes to the economy because people like to think of the president as sitting at the Oval Office, controlling the different.
We're lucky we're not in World War III.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
and how does that work out economically?
So I've tried to give Trump credit where I have agreed with him, like the example Mike brought up about the ban of travel from China. Trump did call that, and then some people were critical of him for it, and I agreed with Trump on that. But and there were other things like signing the First Step Act. I think opening things up with North Korea, although it didn't seem to really get us anything.
To the American people,
But I think that the damage Trump has done exponentially crushes, some of the things that I might have agreed with. And but I have this other thing with Trump too that it's a little esoteric, I guess might be the word that I've tried to explain to people, and I'm not sure I even articulate it very well. But when Trump came in, I actually saw potential in that I thought he might be able to be the first sort of independent president, even though on paper. Well, what I mean is, even though on paper he was a Republican, I thought he's in a unique position because he's never held public office before, because he doesn't owe anybody anything. He's in a unique position to be really effectively an independent, not be a Republican or a Democrat, but really be an independent and just do what he thought was right for the country.
And in the beginning, he bucked the Republican platform on a number of things.
Right.
In the beginning.
But then I thought there was real potential there.
So did I.
And I think that if he, and actually,
in fairness, remember, I went to Boston and was on TV defending Trump.
Right. I remember. And
in the beginning.
And I really thought there was a unique opportunity there. And then very early in his presidency, I realized that, no, he was doing the opposite. He was going to do whatever he could to mollify.
He started going right into race. It didn't take him long before he was, picking on somebody for being Mexican or
Yeah.
I mean, he went there rather quickly.
And catering to the evangelicals and
God.
all of that. Like, I realized very quickly that my hope was for naught. And he was just going to be
I got on and
really
off the train at
the
the next
opposite.
stop.
Yeah.
I didn't stay on very long.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I was right there, too, thinking maybe this business guy can do something good for us. And God, was that a mistake.
Yeah, it just didn't have to be that way. And he could have won. I'll tell you, if he had been consistent with how he handled the pandemic and not take. I feel like he just got bored with it and took his hands off the wheel because he was frustrated.
In his world, if he decides something no longer exists, it doesn't exist anymore. If he says somebody should get fired, they get fired.
Yeah.
If something's supposed to be blue, it'll be blue. I mean, that's how he works.
He could have been consistent. He could have. And I know some of our liberal listeners probably disagree with me on this, but if he had been more like Governor Chris Sununu, he would have cruised to re-election.
If he had stayed where he was in the beginning when this first happened, and he came out and he called himself a wartime president,
yes,
I was all on board.
Yeah,
I was 100% on board. That press conference was everything I needed to see from him.
I mean,
and then he opened his mouth again. And screwed it all up.
I was willing to give. I remember on this show defending him when others were criticizing him. Yep. This was kind of during that 15 days to slow the spread thing. When others were criticizing him, saying, why is he coming out all sunshine and rainbows when there's all this bad news? And I remember saying, no. You know what? He's allowing everyone else to give the bad news, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, but he's bringing some optimism. He's saying, yeah, this is going to be tough, but we're going to be okay. We're going to get through it. We're going to do what we have to do. We're strong. We're going to rise up. And I actually, in that moment, I appreciated it.
But don't you feel a little sick now?
Yeah, because
that in that moment he was lying to you?
Well, yeah, and then that optimism turned into just total delusion and just fantasy stuff within a matter of a couple of weeks, and I was like, oh no. So the people who were criticizing him were right, actually. I was wrong.
Dr. Birx said there was no team. It was her.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She's like, and
the stuff we're learning now.
There were charts and graphs out there that she had no idea where they came from, but they certainly were not made by her.
Yeah.
And when you've got real medical doctors up there going, I have no idea what this is, and I wouldn't use it on my patient, that's an issue. That's an issue, okay? I don't want my medicine from a politician any more than I want my heart surgery to be done by a dentist. I mean, we have people that belong in professions and people who don't. And politicians need to get the heck out of our exam rooms.
We need to break soon, but we do have a call, so we'll grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Good afternoon, Matt. This is Darryl.
Darryl Dion?
Yeah.
You never call my show. How are you?
I'm okay. Well, one of the reasons I called, I just finished making a Texas burger for myself, and I happened to tune in and listen to Mike on the phone. And I was just trying to ascertain whether he was trying to imply that Trump was not inciting the crowd at the Capitol. Was he trying to say that?
I don't think he was trying to imply it. I think that's his position that Trump did nothing wrong there. But now, in fairness to Mike Doyle, though, I mean, he was critical of a lot of Trump's other behavior, but
not that one.
But not that. It sounds to me like he does not feel that Trump incited that activity that day. That was my impression.
Well, that's what I thought he was implying.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, Mike has over the period of the last six to 8 months has kind of walked back a little bit on his intensity for the love of Trump. And for obvious reasons, because it's pretty clear that the man is insane. And Mike was able to actually wrap his brain around that fact. And I understand the fact that he's had some pretty good policies. I'm confused as to how many they were because they're overshadowed by the fact that he's a raving lunatic.
Right.
And the death toll on his counts, it's virtually on the cusp of being the biggest one of any president.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, absolutely. You know what, Jenny? Too. I love you for being emotional and coming right back because that's what you need to do to these people that want to take a stand that Trump wasn't implicit in that horrific thing that occurred at the Capitol.
Yeah, and not just Trump either. Actually, Giuliani, some of what he said and what Don Jr. said was even
Trump
more
practically
aggressive.
put Pence's head on a platter in front of those people.
I know.
He pretty much rolled the
absolutely.
bus over his head and went, "Hey, off with his head. Go for it, people. I'll get you cake on the way back."
Yeah.
Like, that's how he was.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Giuliani got sued for about $1 billion bucks today by that company that was working on the
Dominion?
Dominion, yes.
They have finally had
Dominion,
enough of
yeah.
the peanut gallery, and they're now going after them for their absurdities, and I can't wait.
Well, I don't know how Giuliani's going to pay it though, because apparently Trump isn't going to pay Giuliani.
Well, then he's going to have to
Yeah, I
file
think
for
Trump
Chapter
did them.
13 before or after the bar in New York did some kicked off, because they're trying to do that too.
That's true. So he won't be able to represent himself because he'll be disbarred by then.
The cards are starting to fall on this house,
I just wanted
boy.
to chime in because I was having a little bit of difficulty eating my Texas burger with all that crap that was coming out of Mike's mouth. So I was able to finish it in good stead. And congratulations, Matt. Once again, you're doing a hell of a job on your show, and I love you, Jenny.
I'm happy to be your antacid.
All right. Darryl.
I'll talk to you later, Matt.
All right, Darryl, thank you so much for the call. Call anytime. It's great to hear from you.
Tom just said
My
something.
pleasure. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
see, I'm a terrible person. I overtalked you.
Oh, that's okay. What were you saying?
Tom just said something in the chat room that got my attention, because this is one that's been on you've heard me say it a million times, how Giuliani stood up in front of that crowd of people after Pence's head was delivered on a platter by Trump. Giuliani gets up there and goes, maybe we need to get him in trial by combat.
Trial by combat.
By combat. We need to go and have fisticuffs, is what he said, basically.
Ooh, I like the word fisticuffs.
I like fisticuffs, too.
But
That's
I don't
my
like
go-to.
fisticuffs in my democracy.
No, I don't. Call me crazy, but I don't like the idea of people going through the Capitol of the United States of America after building a actual guillotine outside, not a guillotine, a gallows outside, and then proceeded to go through there going, hang Mike Pence, and then the creepy guys. You see that one video with a large group of people is going through the center where they're outside of where the speaker's office are, and you hear these really creepy men going, Nancy, come on, Nancy. It was like something out of The Shining. It literally was like something out of The Shining. And this is in our capital. That's what other countries are looking at. The seat of democracy is a goofball with a spear who can't even speak English. He just stands there and goes, oh, he's just making noise.
Yes.
Because it echoed funny in the room. It was like a 5-year-old.
Well, we'll see how that works for him in prison.
Yes. I wonder if he's still on his fasting diet because they won't give him organic food.
Right.
Should have thought about that before you wanted to break the federal law on camera and you uploaded it, you dumb fool. You're going to get what you deserve.
That's right.
And I hope you like bologna.
Oh, all right.
I hear they have a lot of bologna sandwiches.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break. We will be back. We're going to play a couple things and show some love to our sponsors. Great busy show today, though. I love getting lots of calls. Please keep them coming when we come back. You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live on WMNH 95.3 FM in Manchester, New Hampshire. Don't go anywhere.
You're dipping into Kool-Aid and you don't even know the flavor.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are way into hour number 2, Numero Dos, here on this Monday. Of course, live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. Streaming at WMNHradio.org and on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And, of course, you can also access it all if you go to mattconnerton.com and click Listen Live, and Jenny is here as well at the news desk. Still here. And we've got a little under a half hour left, so if you'd like to get in with a call, there is time. 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also send a text to 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can also comment at mattconnerton.com. If you click Listen Live, there's a little message board there and a direct contact form and all of that good stuff. So lots of ways you can reach out and get in touch. And I want to remind you, of course, we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. They have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have wine. They have trivia night Wednesday nights. It's a great place. Don't go there today. Monday and Tuesday is their weekend, but they are open Wednesday through Sunday. And, they great food, great service. It's a great family that owns and operates it, and they do everything very safely there too, which is important.
Pizza.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Special Oreos.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love the Oreos.
And it's very safe. The staff is masked at all times. The tables are nice and spread out. They clean and sanitize constantly. It's a very, very safe place. So the Hop Knot, check it out. Please support all of our wonderful sponsors here. Queen City Cabinetry, our friend Mike Pelopita, who I see in the Facebook live chat. He's a big supporter of the station and all the shows here. Of course, the Regency Connection, is it Connection or Collection? I always get it wrong.
Collection.
It's Collection. And, of course, the OG of WMNH sponsors, CGI Business Solutions. They've been here from the beginning.
Yes.
So we that's what keeps us operating here. Absolutely.
Bring on the love.
Yes. Well, you know what? Let's say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. It's been such a busy show today. We haven't had a chance to say hello to everyone yet. Jenny, you're in there. You said shalom, peeps. Yes.
Good.
Bobby Champagne joins us in the Facebook live chat, and again, condolences to Bobby. Of course, his dad passing away over the weekend. From COVID. So very sorry to hear that. Joe Friday is in the Facebook live chat. He says, good afternoon, my peeps. Keep up the good work. Wow, this whole peeps thing, because Easy G, he likes to say peeps. It's really catching on.
It's a good word.
It is.
It is a good
word.
Yes. You.
Mike Pelopita, who is a top fan, by the way, and from Queen City Cabinetry, says, hi, Matt. Hi, Jenny. Hello, everyone. Miriam Banish, who is a top fan, says hello. Hello, Miriam. Let's see. Rocky Huber is in the Facebook live chat. Rocky says, I very much enjoyed Easy G's dramatic reading of the egg on your face incident. Yes. That was fantastic over the weekend. Good. Maybe I'll play that tomorrow. I don't have it queued up, but yes, the infamous egg on your face, Easy G. Well, let's see. You know what? If I can find it in here really quickly, I'll play the original incident. I won't play the whole Eggman song. Well, what I want to do is I want to play that, and then I'll see if I can find it quickly on Eric's page.
The original's hard to hear.
I'm going to play the original, and then if I can find it quickly enough, I'm going to play Eric's interpretation of it, so everyone knows what we're talking about. So
well, I mean, he does do that part himself. So yeah.
So this is the original. This is the original incident from a few years ago now on the morning show.
Let's take this call, just because they keep calling. So good morning.
Oh, hello, guys.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, it's 10 hours to the taste, and I still don't have my ticket for Rhonda.
You know what? I'm really not in the mood for that today, Eric, so I'm going to tell you what. You already have a ticket, so I'm sorry I didn't get the ticket. If I get another one, come see me tonight. But, you already have a ticket. There's other people out there like Terry Trainer that doesn't have a ticket.
I don't have a ticket.
No, I didn't say. I said I would try.
I said egg on my face.
I'm going to tell you. You don't have egg on your face. I'm going to tell you what. You should be grateful that you have one ticket. All right, kid? Do you understand me? You're calling for free stuff. We take care of you all the time. I tried to get the ticket. I couldn't do it. I've been very busy. So don't worry about you having egg on your face, Eric. That's being a little selfish. You hear what I'm saying, man?
Oh.
You hear what I'm saying? See you tonight at the Taste of Downtown, my friend.
Wow. Whoa.
No, you know what? The guy calls up for free stuff. You know, we take care of him. We take care of him.
Does he have a ticket already?
He already has a ticket.
I don't have a ticket.
He wants a ticket for someone that may go with him. And I told him I would try to get him a ticket. And now he's upset and says he has egg on his face. Well,
so there you go. So that was the original incident.
Oh, that's so hard to listen
and
to.
Now I'm trying to find on Eric's...
I don't like you very much anymore for playing that.
I found it. Here it is. Okay, so this
will
is...
make me feel better.
Yes. Now, this is Eric, over the weekend, just suddenly decided to... I don't know what prompted this, but here. He posted this on his Facebook page, and it's a reenactment, if you will, where he plays...
Dramatic reading.
Where he plays both parts. He plays both himself
Got that from you.
and Peter White. Yes, let's have a listen here. If it'll play. Here we go.
You're messing up your intro.
Oh,
Hang on. There's more. It paused.
You're failing here, Maddie.
hello, everybody. Eggman.
It keeps pausing.
Eggman.
Here, I'm just going to roll it back to the very beginning, and hopefully it buffers enough that it catches up. Here we go. Oh, come on. Damn you, Facebook.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Oh.
We're having technical issues, Maddie.
Eggman. Hey, Peter, it's 10 hours to the Taste. I still don't have my ticket for Rhonda. Listen, I'm not really in the mood for that today. I tried to get you a ticket, I couldn't get one. I've been real busy.
Is there a reason he sounds
Hey,
like
Peter.
somebody's squeezing him?
I thought you'd take care of me. I got egg on my face. Listen, you don't have egg on your face. That's being selfish. Terry Trainer don't have a ticket.
Is that Peter's Meme? Why is Peter
See
so
you at
high
Taste of
pitched?
Downtown tonight. Whoa. Well, he always calls up looking for free stuff. I tried to get him a ticket, I couldn't get one. He wants one, but someone that might go with him tonight. Do you have a ticket, Terry Trainer? No.
He threw himself off.
There you go. That's the whole thing.
Wait, why
Wow.
does Peter sound like somebody's got a hold of his, nays?
Here's the thing. I think I have some insight into that. So I'm sure Eric has heard me comment many times about Gonzo's impressions, that what Gonzo lacks in accuracy, he makes up for in enthusiasm. So Eric probably has heard me say that and thought he can do an impression of Peter White, and even if it's not even remotely accurate, as long as he really throws himself into it and tries to embody the character, then that's good enough. So there you go. That's
He still sounds like a little boy before puberty.
He does.
Or at the beginning, I should say.
But I very much enjoyed that. So that was
that's the most interesting.
Yes.
Interesting one. I've never seen somebody intimidate Peter so well, so wonderfully.
Imitate, not intimidate.
Yeah, that one.
There is no intimidating Peter White.
My brain is a little off
He is
today.
the godfather of WMNH, as we learned earlier.
No.
Yes.
He changed your nappies.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
By the way, in reference to the conversation we had early in the show with Tony D, Tom Blanchard said, I was on Shantix and quit more than a year ago. But hey, guess what? I still have urges, but you always will. And Bobby Champagne said, thank you so much, Tony D. You're a class act, my friend, because that was really nice what Tony D said regarding Bobby losing his father over the weekend. So that was nice. And obviously, Bobby really appreciated that. Tom also said, I was on Shantix and quit over a year ago, but I still have urges. It's not a magic pill. Yes. Bobby says, I quit cold turkey on 4/4/2020. I'm still doing great.
Excellent.
Yes, some people do better with it than others. Yeah.
Well, you had there was a guy that you hypnotized on TV years ago that you got.
Norm.
You helped him stop smoking.
Norm Moody of Norm and Friends. That was like eight or 9 years ago now, and Norm still talks about it. Yes, I did. For those who don't know, I am a certified hypnotherapist, and that's the number one thing I see clients for. Of course, now I see them all online on using a Zoom-like platform called Doxy.me. But yes, that's the number one thing I see people for, is to help them quit smoking. By far, the number one thing. Let's see. Bobby said, I don't think about it. Oh, the smoking, because my lifestyle has changed because of the pandemic. Tony D says, I was peeing so bad, the incontinence in Shantix, I felt like a firefighter again. I could put out a bush fire rather, or is it brush? I don't know.
Really? Really? Come on.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that. That was bad.
Tony D also says, again, this is regarding Stacie's call earlier about how she's launching that online radio station. Tony says, my radio station is KOF Radio, or King of Farts Radio. Well, as long as it's not King of All Farts, because I believe Eric Stad has that trademarked.
Yes, he does. In many countries.
Yes.
Yes, does that, yes.
Christian Collins is in the Facebook live chat all the way from Ohio.
Yes.
Correct? Ohio, yes.
Ohio.
Tony D says, here we go. MD with his nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Referring to Mike Doyle.
Yeah. Call me crazy, but I'm still going with that whole American first. Except? Really? Like, waiver. Except you, yes. Well, of course, this explains why, in this wonderful world that he left us, Mr. Wonderful POTUS. We have airlines getting tons of money. Big business has gotten tons of money from the government. But my girlfriend from high school has an amazing art shop, has had to struggle through a process to get to apply. And I don't even think it went through the first time.
Oh,
like the average people around here, they're not, where's their PP?
Right.
Where's their paycheck protection? Because there's a lot of small businesses I hear getting turned down. But all these big businesses, big airlines, they're going to get their half. They get their money.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't you give it? You want to give the peasants $1,400? Are you insane?
Yeah.
My God, man. What is next? Minimum wage?
Oh no. Tony D also said, hey, Doyle, you also read a story that we grow third eyes from the vaccine. Did you believe it? I don't know if Mike Doyle ever mentioned that.
No.
I don't think he'd believe it.
No, that wasn't for that. Mm-hmm. No, I thought that was the hydrochloroquine, whatever, ray of light body something.
Stacie said, again, this I believe was regarding your interaction with Mr. Doyle. Shots fired. Yes.
Yes, and I have good aim.
Yeah.
At least in my own world, I have very good aim.
Bobby Champagne says, tell Mike Doyle to watch the impeachment trial coming up. It's all on video.
Just YouTube it.
Yes,
just watch his speech over again, and I'm sorry, dude, but it's in there.
Bobby also points out, and this is why, when we're talking about economics, the true economic picture is always more complex than people want to believe it. People like to speak about it in very simple terms, but Bobby points out unemployment was low because everyone has 3 jobs. The ratio of jobs to people, numbers can say anything you want them to. And that's a great point.
It's a very good point. There are a lot of people that have multiple income sources now.
I mean, the unemployment rate itself, in fact, people have been arguing for years that is actually a very poor economic indicator, and it would be smarter to use, say, for example, the labor participation rate. But even that number is misleading. Because like Bobby pointed out, you got people working 3 jobs to survive.
Right.
Is that really is that a strong economy?
Just like when President Obama was in office, and they would claim that with the numbers, and there were people like me sitting there going, I have 3 jobs, dude. I have 3 friggin' jobs to keep my roof on my head. And I was angry when they would pass those numbers out there back then. So it doesn't matter to me who's in charge. When it comes to those numbers, you can make it sound as good as you'd like. But the reality is a lot more painful.
By the way, if I remember correctly, the song "Can I Get A" from I think the late '90s, Ja Rule has a line in it about working 3 jobs to survive.
Yeah.
And today, Ja Rule actually does work 3 jobs. People don't know that.
A lot of people do.
That's why 50 Cent makes fun of him.
A lot of people will drive for
I'm dropping
service,
some knowledge.
Full job.
Yeah.
You're trying to. Anyway.
Well, I totally
you
am.
should stop that, Maddie. You are so white when you try that. It just doesn't work.
I'm going to try what? Dropping knowledge?
Oh, yeah. The way, come on.
How
It's
dare.
okay, Maddie.
How dare you.
We all still love you. It was a nice try, but it was flat.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Bobby says you can do both. Think Trump sucks and hate Trump at the same time.
I don't hate. I don't have hate. I try to reserve.
That's
hate.
a great comment, though. You can do both. You can both think he sucks and hate him. I love that.
That is true. that is
you
true.
You can do both.
And
yes.
you can also still think he got a blown. He got one thing right.
Right.
That's like the saying goes. Even a blind dog gets a bone sometimes. Yeah, it's about how he ran the presidency.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
Bobby says, I was shocked at how skinny the Union Leader newspaper was this morning. I had book reports in 3rd grade thicker. Well, newspapers are gradually going away, which is unfortunate.
What's sad? How big the obituary section is.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have to be. We can all do something. We all have the ability to save lives. Just do the minimum expected of you as a human being. Wash up. Wear a mask.
Yep.
Don't be a jerk. It's that simple.
It's not that hard. Yeah.
No, it's not rocket science here. And you think about it, right? Our ancestors are not that far back. Our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they lived through in America where they were collecting tin in order to get that into the system for warfare. People were on bread lines to get cheese in a box. They were doing victory gardens in the front of their houses. Everybody was growing a garden to feed each other with. To grow, those were called victory gardens. All these amazing things. Women who never worked back then did go to work on the lines to try and help things, to bid sails for ships, to do all kinds of crazy stuff. And here we are, 21st century. Here we are, you Generation Xers, you. And what are you doing? You're whining and complaining over wearing a piece of cloth in front of your face so you don't hack all over somebody else.
Well, America was a lot stronger back then. Now we're a country full of whiny,
lazy
bees. They don't want to wear a mask.
Excuses after excuses.
I don't want to wear a mask. It's not fair. I should have to wear a mask.
We had generations of men who were 16 years old and they lied on their application so they could sign up and get into the army to go overseas and fight.
Those days are gone.
You want to wear... I don't have to put on a mask to go shopping here. This is a public place. You let the public in here. So it's my liberty to breathe all over you with my God's perfect breathing system. Let me get an amen.
It is.
Seriously.
It is incredible to think this is the same country that successfully fought 2 world wars.
Our ancestors if they were alive today, seriously, what would they think of us?
It's very, very sad how soft we are now.
But these are people that dragged ice blocks down the house to put in ice chips to keep things cooler, hung their clothes outside to dry. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember scrubbing things with your hands? I do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I spent most of my childhood. I was cleaning other people's stuff. But seriously, people, you're being asked to wear a mask and wash. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Your car practically drives itself. You've got a computer in your pocket, and all you're being asked to do is just protect everybody. Just kind of give a care. Give a little for your neighbor. Just a titch.
What about my freedom? My liberty?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Just mean my freedom and my liberty.
Well, you can have that outside, not inside.
Abigail Jem joins us in the Facebook live chat. She says, Easy G's Peter voice is cray. The young people say that now. They say cray.
Cray.
I think so. I think
that was an older term.
I think they just say one cray. No, I think they just started saying that. I don't know.
I thought it was an older term, but I thought there were 2 crays.
Maybe.
It was cray.
Stephen Philbrook, who is a top fan, says, without the Trump stress, it is on important things like Is it Reese's or Reese's or Reese's or Reese's? Little tricky. I think Stefan uses voice to text. But yes, we can get back to arguing. By the way, it is Reese's.
Or what color the plane Air Force One should be, the color scheme.
Yeah,
that's a super thing that has to have all of the White House's attention.
Yeah, somebody keeps asking Jen Psaki about that. I forget who it is.
Because that was one of his little tidbit things, a Trumpy. He wanted to, upgrade Air Force One, and because that's all important now, worrying about what color the stupid plane is while people are dying. And we're burying them on an island in New York where we put everybody that we don't know what else to do with. Come on, people. Get your heads out of your proverbial tuckuses and give a care for each other.
Abigail says, Gen Xers are doing that? Really? I thought we were too busy caring for our elderly parents and our millennial children.
Oh, we're doing that and more, honey. We're doing that and more. And it's sad, and we shouldn't have to, but we are. We learned nothing, and we're now eating the fruits of our labor, or lack of.
Well, fortunately, I don't have any children to take care of. And, as far as parents, we live in a culture where, we don't, it's not like in Asian cultures, they're very, they're really into taking care of the elderly.
We have a throwaway society.
Right.
We throw away our kids. We throw away our parents. That's how it works. I didn't want it, baby. Here. Woo! Spin it around that little thing in the Catholic Church and give it to somebody else. That's how it works.
Spin it around the thing in the
you take the baby you don't want, you throw it in the little basket thingy outside the church, and you spin it around, and the nuns on the other side take it out, and then they raise it.
Oh.
And then they give it to something or something like that. And then I guess when your parents get on your nerves, you just throw them in a nursing home and tell the nurses to do whatever. So we just throw people away now.
Hold on. You don't have to spin your parents around, do you?
No. Then you just get to drop and run.
Because I don't want to have to. I mean, a baby is one thing, but parents.
That one you got to kind of hand it to somebody. But the kids, but the adult ones, they stand. So you can just drop it or sit. You can just push them out and run. And they won't do, babies are a little harder to hide.
Just thinking if I go to spin my dad around, he's going to be like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
don't give him a pin. He might try to do something.
I just want to be able to, here you go. I brought him for you, and here you go.
No.
I don't want to have to spin him.
See, you have more responsibility over the sad little baby thing, so you have to kind of do more.
Right.
You have to hand it to somebody,
sure.
or not. I mean, or not. You can be left with a perfect stranger. I mean, that works.
Yeah. Wow.
This is the world we live in. We are a society that gives not a care for most anybody. When we were kids, your parents knew your neighbors. Your parents, a lot of times, knew your friends' neighbors. They knew who lived around. Yeah. Nowadays, people don't usually know who lives above them, never mind next to them.
Well, I mean, I don't want to know neighbors because for fear that I might judge them.
I have a neighbor that gave me a really great mantra with stress, but I can't tell you.
Oh, can't say it on the air?
I can only say that on Unleashed.
Understood, yes.
I mean, Unsheathed.
Yeah.
I got confused again. Yeah. Wow, you guys. I am harsh. Because I can be. Because I can say all the things that other people think about without fear.
Mm-hmm.
I have that luxury, so let me be your outlet. Feed it to me, and I'll get it out there. Yeah.
Stefan says, I like to say Reese's.
No.
But I prefer to say Reese's.
Reese's.
Well, should never say, no, it's
Reese's.
Yeah, Reese's.
Reese's.
Yeah.
New England. Reese's.
What are you doing, Stefan? That's why do you say things wrong? How dare you? Abigail says, no kids, but taking care of my parents was a big part of my life, and I think it is in many Americans. Yeah, but I think there's I think it's different in other cultures. I mean, I think we do tend to throw people away.
Americans are pretty terrible at that.
But not all American families obviously are.
Not
we don't
all,
want to paint
but
with a broad
lot
brush,
of the ones that are all about the law and order, and we're such a traditional family, are the ones where you'll find the most throwaways. I'm convinced of that now. I'm absolutely convinced. I'm jaded. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
And this is what we have. We have a society that doesn't care about each other because that's what we've been doing, throwing each other away. So now that we actually need to care about each other again because, hey, your health keeps me from dying. Go figure. Now we're having to, try and teach Americans how to give a care again. Can we find it's like do we have the Grinch for America? We need to get that heart to grow.
Oh, no. You don't want that. An enlarged heart, that's one of the things that can happen with COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of going with the whole grocery sizes.
Also, if you're an abuser of anabolic steroids, like our friend EZG, that's the theory about what happened to the Ultimate Warrior is the steroid use. He had an enlarged heart. Yeah. We do need to begin to wrap up. Very busy show today, though.
It has been.
Thank you, everyone, for all the participation. And that was unusual to hear from Darryl Dion. He never calls this show, so that was great.
And I garnered his approval, which I was,
yes.
Thank you for that. I like the validation. I need that. Thank you.
You can hear Darryl, of course. He's Peter White's co-host on The Morning Show, which you can hear weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. with a replay from 2 to 4 p.m. right before this show. If you stick around tonight, I believe Granite State of Mind, Friday's show is going to replay at 6 p.m. and then at 7 p.m. a replay of Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. So I am Paul's co-host on that program along with Dan Randlett. You can hear all the hijinks we got into Friday night. Actual hijinks.
Yes, there was. There were shenanigans.
Yeah, that too. And that's
hooligans.
These aren't words. Well, no hooligans.
No?
No, just unless you're calling us hooligans. How dare you?
Well, yeah, you guys are kind of vanilla for that word.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's that. It was a really good show, though. I loved Friday night show. I had a blast listening in.
Maybe I'll close with
listening.
Maybe I'll close with "Hooligans" by Kiss.
Leave it to you to connect it to a Kiss song.
It's not hooligan. I'm sorry. It's hooligan. I should say, not hooligans. I apologize.
I like it better when you put an S on it. I think it sounds better.
Bad Kiss fan.
Hooligan.
Well, I was singing hooligans because you called us hooligans. How dare you? All right. If you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. And thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
And
that hairball out.
Yes. That's it for us for now. Talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.